Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining me. My name is Zach Calhoun. I'm the co-founder of CloudPano.com. Today I have a special guest, a customer, a success story, Chris out of Arkansas from Great Escapes RV. Thanks for joining me, Chris. How you doing today, bro?
Doing great. Totally excited. Been rocking out 360 tours. We're having a great day. It's been an excellent month, and we're looking for a good projection on a very productive year.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Great. Well, here's what we'll do today. So just to give some people some context, kind of, I want to run through really kind of what you're doing now, what your role is over there at Great Escapes RV, who you are, what your story is, how you ended up here, and then what you guys are working on. I mean, I'm really excited to discuss last month's virtual RV show. It looked really cool. I actually attended the first one. I was sitting there watching, and you guys can sell, man. You got some really cool, I mean, y'all got some cool stuff going, some cool tech, some cool salesmanship, really some, and obviously you're using CloudPano in a lot of different ways. So we'll discuss that too. But really at first, I just want to hear about you, man. So what's your current role there? What do you do at Great Escapes RV dealership? And then how'd you get there? Tell us your story.
Okay, so first of all, of course, I guess you could say I'm the jack of all trades, but the master of none. I have multiple roles here in this company. I deal quite a bit with advertising, marketing. I do a lot of the media and production here. We have a successful YouTube channel that's growing quite a bit, and also do sales. And I'm also the rental manager. So we started out here, I want to say 7+ years ago. Mr. Dave Chamberlain had started this company, and he mainly tailored it to customer service. There's a lot of incidences where customers are, they're buying an RV and they're not getting trained properly. They're hitting the road and they're having issues and stuff. And that's one of the reasons where we really shine. When I started with this company, I had an extensive background in the offshore industry. I was a process supervisor for multiple contracting companies out in the Gulf of Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria. And my main job out there was to basically diagnose and upsell new platform upgraded devices, basically for processed water. The industry started to kind of tank. They had the fluctuation in the oil field industry, had some layoffs and stuff, and unfortunately was let go with that company. And I've always been a techie. I have been doing drones since before drones became drones. It was a QAV 500 and just flying around way before the FAA implemented all the regulations and things like that. And I found Great Escapes RV Supercenter here in Gassville, Arkansas, a little over 3 years ago. I had applied and I became a sales rep there. Upon entering the company, I noticed that the company was doing a lot of outsourcing for advertising and marketing and stuff. And a lot of the companies that they were working with, they were dealing with 30, 40 firms, and they honestly weren't able to really tailor or hone into the actual customer's needs. So I saw a need there, but not only that, the owner initially had started a YouTube channel, was doing some videos, and got so overwhelmed with the growth of the company that he had to kind of put that on the back burner. And one day I just grabbed a camera and I started studying some of the RVs, and a particular one, I said, "Hey guys, what's up?" And kind of did it, and I put it up there, and it got a couple thousand views, and I was like, this is something kind of cool. And so we took off with that. We got a little over 385 videos on YouTube right now, and just a little bit of that portion, it's grown pretty substantially. We really enjoy that quite a bit. And then I went from sales department and basically got a promotion. They say, we're going to take you out of sales and we're going to kind of put you into a media position. And that quickly started to grow fairly quick. We shot up from about there's about 800 followers on YouTube. Once I took over the video portion of it and editing, it spiked up to right under 4,000 right now. And that was in the past year. And then of course, Facebook advertising, marketing, things like that, organic advertising. One thing kind of led to another, and then rental department kind of fell into my lap. Our rental process last year kind of made it difficult for customers to be able to get on the road and get trained and stuff. And so I kind of streamlined that, created a video, and I've always been kind of looking for new and inventive ways for the company to expand and have great ways to be able to make money. And so one day, I was actually initially before, everything really started to kick off with 360 tours and stuff. I had a little Samsung like Gear 360 thing. And I mean, it
Yeah, yeah,
was, we could send one picture and it was like, hey, this is what we can do. But we're always like
yeah.
trying to look for new stuff. And,
Sure.
we had some Matterport tours, but we weren't really satisfied with that because it was kind of streamlined. And I guess you could say overkill when it comes to detail. And it's frustrating because, if you're touring an RV or customers are touring an RV, they're looking at, how in depth can we go? And a lot of times in like Matterport, you're walking through an RV and you don't get to see the bed set up to kind of
Yeah,
visualize what it would be like to have friends and family staying with you. They don't show you that extra little upper nook or cranny of storage and stuff. And man, I'll be honest with you, Nate called me one day, said, "Hey man, this is some cool stuff. You should check it out."
yeah,
And to be completely honest with you, there was a couple of people that had contacted us before, and we were just kind of like, "Hey, we've got our own thing going. It's gonna work. We're perfectly fine." And Nate was like, "Hey man, like give me a chance to just show you what some of this cool stuff is. Really, I think it'd be really good for your company." And so we had a conference call. He showed us the program. The owner and I, we were highly impressed by it. We were very impressed on the responsiveness of the program.
yeah,
Just to be able to simply flow through a workspace or an RV and be able to look at stuff, it immediately pops up. It's quick to
yeah,
load. Very minimal as far as like issues or any kind of hiccups and stuff. There's a couple little itty bitty bugs, nothing too crazy, but it's definitely next generation stuff. I'm
yeah,
highly impressed by it. Where it really shines, I would have to say, is our as used inventory. There's no 360 tours out there for any kind of used RVs. Usually
yeah,
a new company puts an RV tour and it's a baseline Matterport or something like that. And then that's it. A
yeah,
lot of times we get RVs that come in and they're not technically, they're in good condition, but they haven't had a tour on it. And so
yeah.
our facility, we have at this location alone, about 45 acres of RVs,
Mhm.
two giant service bays. One of them's got 30 bays. The other one has, I think, 7 bays, including a parts store. And so we saw a need for this, but not only that, just the recent influx in the past year when it comes to the RV industry, there are so many people packing up the families, reconnecting with nature, getting out
Yeah,
there and making memories. But they're really intimidated about getting onto a lot and actually, getting in front of a salesperson and actually, checking out an RV because of this whole COVID stuff.
yeah,
So anyways, what we went ahead and do, and one of the things that we do as far as where we shine is we're an educational company. We provide a free training class for all new and used purchases. It's very extensive. We go into the ins and outs of it, show everything, how it works, how to winterize, how to de-winterize, things like that. And then we take it a step further. Right next to our 30 bay service center is a 10 RV slot campground. And so all new and used purchases have the opportunity to stay on our private campground, our training and orientation campground. And where this really has taken off for us, especially advertising wise, is you get a lot of customers that are shopping from out of state. And a lot of other dealerships, they don't have a campground, they don't have a training process, they don't really have this kind of formula that's been developed to where it's like, hey, not only can you come here and check out the area, but you guys can be able to take and use the campground, have your questions and stuff answered. And
very cool.
so, we've really implemented that. It's really taken off. Excuse me. And as far as the 360 tours, I have actually been doing that all day today.
Oh,
Been
really?
doing tours, taking photos, putting stuff together. I
Cool.
even I created. There was a Fusion, I think 425 that we just did yesterday, and there's a certain storage cubby in the Fusion, but the only way to get there is through a specific tour in the link. But when you get there, I actually implemented a little gift box, and it's basically an Easter egg. And so if
Cool.
they're looking through the tour and they stumble across this, if they purchase the RV, then they get an extra gift, which is really exciting. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool as far as making it fun for the customer. But not
Yeah.
only that, literally taking the customer and virtually putting them in that RV, the exact RV.
Yeah.
It's really started to take off. The industry, the way it is right now, I've read a lot of statistics reports on where this virtual market is going, and it's some real deal. And
Yeah.
this the simple operation that you guys have going right now is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm really digging it. The Theta camera is just awesome. 64 megapixels on both sides. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
I could ramble on and on for days on this process and this software.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Chris. That's really cool. I mean, just to further contextualize folks that are kind of watching this and hear what Chris is doing, after he signed on with us, we send him over a hardware kit and all the things he needs to kind of really make it easy for him. We assign an account manager to him. So in this case, it's Nate. He mentioned Nate a moment ago. And Nate walks him through and trains him with everything he needs. And if he has any hiccups, him and Nate are like, best friends right now, because whatever he needs, he gets access to Nate and our team. Of course, we have a support staff as well too. But having a dedicated account manager is really helpful, right? I think you probably already seen the benefit of that. I do like the stuff you're doing with. It's interesting because your role has evolved from sales to now this digital media and marketing expert internally inside your company. And that's actually really perfect for what you're doing now and with the tours on CloudPano, because you know what's important. Where are the cubbies? Where are the storage places? How do we show the extra bed open? You actually know what's important to the customers, right? So when you create them, I really like I clicked through a ton of your tours now. Just kind of prepping for our interview. You know what's important. You highlight that, and that's like this next level of service that I really like. So it sounds like you guys have figured out, okay, well, to decrease the customer support burden post-purchase, we're going to use this campground and just train them. Just add a train element, make the service, make it super easy. Hey, just follow these steps, do this. That's really cool. I like that a lot. And then from the front end now, it sounds like you're using the virtual tech, like CloudPano virtual tour software, to really like optimize the front end virtually selling. So it's kind of this wide net of how do we get all these folks into our world, all the stuff we're doing, and actually customize it for what's important to them. And then, of course, you have the whole service element and the service base as well too. That's really cool. It's really cool. Well, I like that. I mean, obviously, thank you for the feedback. It's super helpful for us, and we're really grateful for you guys as a customer.
We actually got a testimony as well with the 360. We sold a Grand Design Momentum to a customer from Colorado, and of course, I had a YouTube video training class on that RV, but we had done a 360 of the unit and sent the CloudPano link to him, and that aided with the sale. So he was very impressed by that. It was, he was like, that's my RV. I'm looking at my RV, and like, yeah, that is your exact RV.
It was the unit. It was the one you sold. Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Nobody likes surprises, man. When someone buys something, it's a little bit different. It doesn't give a good feeling, a good taste in your mouth. I've seen that happen in transactions where you go to get it and the picture was a little different than actual. So I understand that. Yeah.
Now that kind of ties into it as well as far as the tour goes. I really enjoy that it lets you add an additional info spots because we'll get 4 or 5 different types of, let's say, Jayco 264BH floor plans in, and even though they're the same floor plan, they might have a different color, they might have a different option that's included. And so what I've found that's really interesting, that it really helps on my end as well, so I'm not technically having to do 360s on every single same floor plan, is I can kind of highlight and put in like a disclaimer that's basically like, as far as colors and options, they may be different from what you see. Consult with your sales rep, to avoid any confusion. And so I've started to really add those into the 360 tours, and I've seen a lot of good success with it.
That's great. That's a great idea. That makes total sense. Essentially, you're figuring out like, how do we avoid any like cumbersome miscommunication however we possibly can. And sometimes just a general virtual tour doesn't really do that. So I understand.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to color. Gosh, you gave me something green when I wanted it brown. That wouldn't be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, I really want to hear about this virtual RV show. Man, I was really impressed with what you guys did. can you just like give us a flyover of what y'all did with the virtual RV show and then like how it went?
Yeah. So we had a really bad snowstorm that was here a couple of weeks ago. It completely grounded everything. We had so much snow. It was a little over a foot and a half. And for this area, we haven't had that amount of snow in the past probably 7+ years. So it really stopped everything in its tracks. We didn't have a single person, if not, I mean, maybe one or two on the lot even looking, because they had to trudge through the snow. And I've got 45 acres of RVs. It's kind of hard to clear all that. And so this actually couldn't have worked more in our favor, because we decided to do a virtual RV show, stream it through OBS as if it was like a Twitch streamer for gamers, and basically did it like a live RV show. And I had already created several videos, through YouTube that were already initial base introductory tours. Just dropped the audio on it, put myself in the small corner and said, hey guys, we're showcasing these particular units. These are our special pricing. It also includes all of this awesome, cool things. And, this is the reason why you should be picking us over anybody else. And I think our first one, it had about 12 or 1,300 altogether total views, which was, far more than anybody that was on our lot. And then ended up leading to a sale. And then in the days to come, they would fluctuate in between those ranges. And so we would organically market through Facebook and, basically let everybody know, hey, we're going to have a live RV show on this day. We're going to have a promotional giveaway, things like that. And even if it wasn't the unit that we were selling, it at least let them see, oh, okay, so they have this website, they have other inventory. There's this show going on virtually. And so customers were able to, browse our inventory, find the units that they wanted. They're able to get all of the very good pertinent information about the facility and why shop with us. And overall, we deemed it a success. This month alone, at the close of February, we were right at, I think it was 101 that we closed on RVs. Which were considered an elite RV dealership. And so, you get a lot of other smaller, dealerships that might be, 10, 15, 30 units, things like that. And so, we average, I mean, that it's definitely a lot higher than what we were last year. Last year, we didn't do any kind of virtual RV show or anything and still did okay. I mean, probably closed 50 for the month, but we've literally doubled our numbers with the virtual RV show and implementing CloudPano virtual tours.
That's awesome, man. That's really great. So you guys sold 101 units during a snowstorm. I think that's a pretty good marketing campaign. I think we'll call that a success. Okay.
Yeah. And 70 in January.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Well, I mean, so let's give some more context there, because people, don't really, there's all kinds of people who will watch this, right? Folks that are in small markets, that are really big markets. I mean, what if you had a tag like an average sale ticket price, just roughly, that you guys probably sell to? Because I know there's a large range in like different RV price tags, right? What's a good average for you guys in y'all's market?
Anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000, and then the higher end up into the 80s to 100s, depending on if it's a luxury fifth wheel or a motorhome.
Gotcha. So maybe like $40,000 to $90,000, something around there is a good range, probably something like that. Cool, awesome, man. That's really awesome. I'm just write it down. 101 units. I mean, I guess that's a good amount of revenue, I guess we'll say. I mean, it definitely over, I don't know what the quick math is, but I mean, you're north of 2 million, I'm guessing, probably something like that.
On an average, yeah.
On an average, cool. That's fantastic. Well, that's really great. And then obviously, the use of CloudPano, I mean, I love the story of you guys sending over virtual tours, like the units to Colorado and selling something nationally. I mean, gosh, you could sell something internationally if you really wanted to.
We actually have.
Oh, you have? Okay, great.
Yeah. We had a guy actually who was on us on YouTube in Dubai, and he was like, hey, I'm coming to the States. I'm staying for like a year. I need an RV. I'd like to check this out. And he ended up buying with us. He bought all the way from Dubai,
Wow.
Saudi. Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, I mean, it's just a testament to what with the work you've done, right? The YouTube channel has been a channel that's been really powerful for you guys, you know. And I like the fact that it's kind of this wide net that really connects the salesperson, and also CloudPano can connect to the salesperson as well too. It's just you're just using all the tools you have available to you, which is
Absolutely.
that's what you got to do. I mean, we do the same thing at CloudPano. We have a YouTube channel. We have all kinds of whatever tools we possibly can use. We're going to pick up and use and try to fill up with great content, right? So it makes total sense. That's really cool. That's awesome. So, okay, how about this? So let's say an RV dealer is watching this and they're in, Pennsylvania, or they're in Washington or somewhere else, or Florida, and they're looking for like some tips to get started and start using CloudPano. And I mean, obviously at this point they would have reached out to us and gotten our training with us. But now they're looking ahead at the days to come of creating virtual tours and kind of picking and choosing how they're going to use the tool. What are some tips you give them getting started and then to where you are now? I would consider you a pretty dang good virtual tour creator at this point. But what were some things you think would be helpful for someone getting started?
I'd have to say, first of all, is take your time. There's too many RV tours that are out there with different companies where the customer or the dealership isn't setting up the beds. They're not turning on the lights. They're not staging it correctly. Pictures and especially 360 photos that put you inside the RV speak 1,000 words. And if you are in a 360 tour and there's trash everywhere and the unit isn't staged properly, it's going to make it that much more difficult. That customer's going to have that vision in the back of their head, not only one about your facility, but the unit that they're potentially buying. So as far as that, definitely, stage your unit correctly. Have somebody that takes a lot of pride with it. Be careful. These cameras are expensive. If you're in an RV, you're moving around. The RV is not technically stable, so you have a lot more chance for it to tip and fall over. I have to say I'm like a ninja when I'm moving around these RVs, because the moment I start to move, I'm constantly looking back to see that camera starting to wobble. But of course, Nate's hooked me up with some nice some weights and things like that. It's just that uncertainty, like, oh man, is everything good? But it always works out good. I'd have to say second is, if you're in a bunkhouse floor plan and you've got a fold out couch, take an extra picture, take the extra 2 or 3 minutes to set up the couch into the bed. That speaks volumes for people, especially for families. They're like trying to visualize putting their friends and family in there, and how do I have to sleep this people? And will I still be able to move around the couches if they're all set up in the bed? Yeah. And I'm not only talking about 12 volts. A lot of times, people will do 360 tours and it's just 12 volts. I have a full DO pad back here, and I'll take particular units, especially the popular ones, and I'll have full hookups over here. I'll turn on the fireplace, which requires 110. I'll turn on the TV. And then it also kind of gives you a different kind of security as well, because let's say hypothetically, if the unit's, traveling to another location, and the customer says, hey, the fireplace doesn't work or the TV's broken. Well, you can look back on the tour and you see, okay, well, the TV was working whenever it left, or the fireplace wasn't broken then. So it's one of those things where, these RVs, unfortunately, they're houses on wheels. Nothing lasts forever. Everything's going to require constant maintenance to keep these things up and going. And so this creates more of not only a 360 tour, but documentation on that particular unit. To give you added security whenever it does travel across country, or even just to the customer right down the road.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've heard it called an insurance policy before. This doesn't hide anything, and it really doesn't. You got to really make sure you physically hide, whenever you take the photo, otherwise you'll end up in a mirror somewhere. But that makes a lot of sense. I actually didn't really think about that from the level, like from leaving the lot to the customer's hands. It's like, if that light was working a moment ago, then I don't think it's on us, man. So
absolutely.
That's a good point. So just another reason to use the tool. Well, awesome. Those are really good tips. I mean, especially because I have a family, right? So I want to know, where are they going to sleep? What's it going to look like? Like, what's it really going to look like? Like, not when it's prettied up, but when it's unfolded and everything, you know, like how much space to really have. So I saw you took a photo on top of a bunk bed for the kiddos, like what it looks like on top. You know, I showed that to another, actually a manufacturer, and she said, well, that's really cool. I love that idea. You know, so she liked the idea of showing the top of the bunk bed, which is something you just,
Yeah,
you know,
if you're gonna take an area, you're gonna shove some kids up in there in little nooks and crannies and stuff. You might as well have a 360 little in the inside of it to be able to have them see.
What are some ideas you think, like seeing, so kind of you're in a unique spot, you have a unique perspective of not only the RV industry, but also now 360, you know, what do you see like the future? What are some cool ideas that you could use the tech for inside the dealership space or what are some other ideas that have kind of come to mind internally using CloudPano? What's some stuff you guys are thinking about doing? What's next?
Oh man, so I've got a new drone that's coming in for one. We're getting some more drone footage, first of all. But two, I want to do a more honed in virtual tour of the actual facility.
Yeah.
So customers can have the ability to explore the facility, walk around the entire lot digitally, and see our parts center, see our collision center, see our paint booth, our 65-foot RV wash, all that stuff. And they can have a visualization before they come to the lot.
Yeah.
So when they come to the facility, they already know where everything's pretty much located at. But not only that, I'd have to say, you know, as far as the future for Great Escapes and the directions that we're going right now, CloudPano is definitely a key asset and a very, very strong link that has been added to this company chain.
Cool.
It's some next level stuff and we're very excited to use it. But more or less, more 360 tours. I've got so many units. I've got so many units that I need to do more tours on. And I think I'm in a point where I'm probably going to hire some more people under me to kind of help with that. Because I've kind of got so many irons in different fires and I'm just one person. And so, you know, as far as the future for Great Escapes, definitely continuing to stay with CloudPano. We're absolutely loving the program. I can't express enough how responsive it is. I mean, literally after I'm done taking a photo or taking a 360 tour and, you know, I get back here, I plug the Theta in. As soon as I plug it in, I create the file, I drag the file over, I name everything down the list. I can put specific spots where it's going to start. I like as well that you guys have it set up to where you can have a starting point. So if the customer's wanting to look at a bed, it doesn't default them looking at a wall. So you can adjust that, which is very cool. Also, the descriptive things where you can add in more pictures, you can add in hyperlinks, just the sheer, I guess it's a sandbox almost. You can just really kind of tailor it to your own liking. And then, you know, just simply being able to take and hit publish real quick. And in a matter of, let's say, start to finish, you know, an hour, let's say, give or take, depending on how big the RV is, we can send that digitally to a customer to close that deal. And I mean, it's open and close, man. It's like,
that's awesome.
People
That's
love
what
it.
you want. You want open and close, right? You just want to sell the
Streamline.
unit and move on to the next one, man. Come on. That's great. And now you're hiring a whole team to help you. That's really cool.
Yes.
Well, great, man. Happy for you guys over there. I mean, I'm happy y'all having so much success. And gosh, 101 units being sold in February, all virtually during a snowstorm, using CloudPano to help you do it, using the YouTube channel, using you, and now building your team out so you don't keep selling and break the record, you know, next month or next quarter or whatever. You know, that's really cool, man. I'm really happy for you guys. We got a lot of cool things coming specifically for dealerships, man. Whether it's collections or CloudPano live video chat, we got all types of really cool stuff. I mean, it's just so you help you sell more. That's the whole point. You know, our goal is to make great tools so you guys can make a lot of money, and that helps us in the back end, right?
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you, brother. All right. Well, thanks for your time. I'll cut us off here. Have a good day, man. And hopefully we'll be at the beach for real in the future here. Okay. All right.
Drinking a beer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach. I appreciate your time. You guys are doing such a great job, and definitely give Nate some props. He's doing a fantastic job. He is Johnny on the spot. I can text him in the middle of the night even, and he is quick to answer anything I need. He's doing great.
Awesome, man. All right. Talk to you soon, brother. Have a good day.
Thanks, man. You guys have a good one too.